usually this is gonna be. Hello, hello, hello. Let's see. Yay. Yay, yay, yay. Okay. Hello, hello, hello. And welcome back, guys. It has been a beautiful month. Thank each of you for spending my birthday month with me. I'm sorry, let me get that camera together. Thank you for spending my birthday month with me. It's been really fun. I am so elated. Um, I need to verify if you can hear me. I'm trying something new again. These lives were set up for me to do the countdown for my birthday, but also for me to figure out how I wanted to add my lives in when I'm coming live to speak to you guys up front. So it's been a huge test. On the back end, it's easier to just have people where, send them to another app. But what I was trying to do here is make sure that you could hear me and what it looks like. So can you guys hear me? Can someone respond? Oh, that's pretty good timing as well. It doesn't look like it's a huge lag. So today we're talking about time managing for success in your business. So we've talked about a plethora of things this month. I wrote them down yesterday because I thought it was pretty funny that I just spoke out of my head each day whatever I felt like the Lord was saying to speak to you about. So we've talked about prayer in your business. We have talked about, that looks sideways. We have talked about prophetic instructions for such a time as this. We did part 1 and part 2. We talked about the mindset motivation. We talked about simple biblical principles for your business. We have talked about family prayers. We do family prayer every Saturday morning at 8:30. That has been going on since last year. It will continue to go on. And so every level of business that I have, we just get together and have prayer on Saturday for my family. And if you're in this business with me, or if you are in the same type of business, if we have connected, I call you family. I've been picking up family my whole life. It's just who I am. I love family. I love people. We've talked about cultivating into the in manifestation. We've talked about YU. We've talked about one must-have needed for business success. We've talked about targeting goals, setting entrepreneurs. We've talked about grace for business. We've talked about money mindsetting. We've talked about family prayer. We've given shouts out to one of my coaches that transitioned in. As well, we talked about seed sowing. We talked about goals. We've talked about intercession in your business, master tools for your business. We've talked about entrepreneurship and the mistakes that businesses make. We have talked about delegating in business. We've talked about power of obedience in your business. We've talked about family prayer in your business. We've talked about resetting yourself so that you can become who you are needed to be for business. I'm sorry, that one was self-care is what we talked about for that one, and resetting yourself. We talked about developing resources for profit. We've talked about breaking down financial goals. We've talked about business trees with Linktree and a couple of other things. And today is day number 28. Guys, not only is it day number 28, but it is August, so that would be 8/28. But this broadcast is called 8:30. Why? Because in 2 days, which is 8:30, is my birthday. But today, we are talking about your business, about thank you, Nani. We're talking about mastering your time in your business. What does time managing your business help you? What does it look like, and how does it help you for success? That's what we're talking about today, right? So we're just going over a few of the aspects of managing time just to give you some suggestions to open up, because if your time is not managed appropriately, then what ends up happening is lack of success, right? And so some people, we all have the same 24 hours in a day, right? Right, we do. And so some people, it seems like they can do so many things. How many times have you wondered, why can so many people do so much in a day? People have asked me that years on top of years, over and over again. First of all, let me tell you who I am, just in case you're new to the broadcast and you've not been here. Hey, Jacqueline, and you've not been here for the previous 28 days. I am L Peaches Coates, Prophet Peaches, Coach Peaches. I'm just Peaches, right? And so I don't have to be concerned with a title, because I am who I am in spite of, and I'm just Peaches. It's been who I was my whole life. However, I am the prophetic voice of the Most High God, and I blend, excuse me, I help develop channels for women to be able to give their absolute best in entrepreneurship and business, right? So what it all boils down to is women entrepreneurs of faith and a few good men. I help them develop the strategies, the blueprints, the clarity, not in that order, but we go over clarity. We go over blueprints for success. We go over the structures and what we are doing to be able to create successful business in an online platform, such as what we have right now. So this is what we're doing. And I'm sorry, I forgot to kill all of my notifications in this area here. My apology, guys. So that's what I do, and I help you prepare and get these things in place. How do I do that? Well, I have a couple of ways that can happen. We do one-on-one coaching processes, and of course, I can't separate being a woman of God and a prophet or oracle of God with a business. So I put them two together, and I teach you how to do the same thing. Marry them together with what? With prayer, teaching you how to pray, teaching you how to journal, and then on top of that, to come back and still do business and be successful. And we add the components of business that a lot of people don't add for a supernatural success in business, right? And so today we're talking again about managing your time, how it helps you in your business, how time managing makes a huge difference in your business. So as I was saying, everyone has the same 24 hours in their day, correct? We do. And so what is the difference between someone that looks like they're doing a gabillion things in their day versus sometimes we're not feeling like we're doing much in our day? We're being drained sometimes with everything, the people that are pulling on us. And how do we do that? Once we get clarity in our life, right? Once we get a structure, hey, Allison, once we get a structure in our life, once we understand who we are and what type of business we're going to do, who we are serving in business, right? Who are we laying out the red carpet to in business to be able to help you, right? We then have to know, how is it that I'm going to serve, be prepared to serve, lay the foundations of serving out to you, and get you and coach you into your Super Bowl of success in business, coach you into your World Cup of success in business, get you to the platform that you need to be in the best likable way possible, and getting a quality product out to your customers. How is that being done effectively, and you getting less time that you're having to work every single week, but also more time into your life, in your family, in your guidelines, being able to make more finances, being healthier, being more strengthened, but to also be able to show up and be effective, right? That would require managing your time appropriately. How do you do that? How do we manage the things? Can you guys think of everything that you need in business that you have to do in a day in business, right? You have to put out quality info, right? You have, when it's time to show up, you have to be able to help your people depending on what type of business you are. So the way that we're doing business here is that we are live coaching, and we become your biggest supporter. We become your best fan base. I bit that lip again. We become your best fan base in business, right? We become the one that can see, coaches can see your best qualities in you, kind of like what we do as spouses, as women to our husbands, and the husbands to our wives. We should be. I've never been a husband, but how to become the best in a relationship, we do that, right? But we also have to be able to show up for business and give our absolute best. And what does that look like? It looks like we also have to be prepared. So as a online business owner, as a person with intellectual property, I have to remember the things that I have done, right? And I also have to be prepared to give you the absolute best. Where is all of my knowledge coming from? It comes from a plethora of books that I have read and that I'm still reading. It comes from me being able to glean as well to someone who's serving me on the back end as well. I have coaches in ministry as well as business that are also challenging me to be my absolute best. They're seeing the best in me every single day as well and expecting me to show up at my biggest capacity the way that I should, right? And so that is what I have to do. But how do I do it all? How do I glean from them? And then how do I come here and serve you? How will you be able to glean from me? And then once you are connected to me and partnering with me in one of the programs that we offer, and then yet still go forth and be able to serve your customers. How are you doing it? I don't care if you are a car mechanic and you are deciding to bring your business online. It doesn't matter if you are in a regular job and you are trying to figure out how to get greater success in your job and online. How do we do these things? Well, you have to manage your business. So one of the things I suggest is get a morning routine. So, you know, you have to know what you should be doing early mornings to figure out, to get your day started on a smooth process in order to be able to serve the people appropriately. You have to serve your family still. You have to serve your spouse still. If you don't have a spouse, maybe a significant other or maybe a future spouse, right? You have to serve the kids if you have children. You have to be able to come back and serve your friends who are also, who life is happening to, and you as a friend have to show up for. And then most importantly, you have to, well, not most importantly, you have to serve, well, most importantly, you have to be a servant of God, but also on top of that, you have to be able to give business. So if you start with an excellent morning routine and figure out what you should be doing in the mornings. So for me, that looks like um, when I wake up, prayer first and foremost, right? Because I'm seeking the kingdom of God and his righteousness first. I have to be able to seek. If I jump up out of this bed and I did not pray in the morning, my day is off. I don't feel right. And I can't even show up to be your friend the way that I should, because I got to love God first, and I've got to go through the kingdom of God in order to be an effective friend for you, right? And I'm not the absolute best friend, but I'm trying to work at that. I want to be God's best baby, and I want to be the best of friend that I can be for you when you need me. And then I want to also serve my family, right? My children need their mommy, right? And their best friend in me, that part of who I am. And then my so that's the kids. And then I am still open and I'm single, but I have to be able to be a excellent significant other when that time comes. And then I have to be able to serve you in business. How does all that happen? It happens like this. I wake up in the morning and I'm in prayer. I'm in prayer for each one of my business partners. I'm in prayer for my own business. I'm in prayer for my family. I am standing in the gap for many people. I am in prayer for my leadership, which is most important. Your leadership needs your prayer. The strong friend that you have that seems like they never break, we need prayer. So I'm in prayer for my strong friends as well, right? I'm in prayer for my friends that have come to me and say, Peaches, like Prophet Peaches, I need a prophetic word. Go before the throne of grace and offer me up at the throne of grace. Be arm in arm and hand with me to go in prayer. And so I do that as well. So I'm in prayer first and foremost. Before I even release my bladder, before I even decide to open up what I'm doing in my life to anyone else, I'm offering a sacrifice in prayer, because sacrificing my time, bringing the petition before heaven in prayer. Then I will then go to do my bathroom activities. I like the way that sounds. And dealing with my unmentionables, right? And I'm in the bathroom, just taking care of the normal bathroom stuff. And when I come out of the bathroom, before the first order of day for me is to look at my emails to see what has happened in my emails. And then my next order of the day is also to go back from my emails. I look at my bank accounts, right? Why? Because I am expecting God to bless me in my bank account on every single day. And so, if you're expecting a blessing, you will be looking for it. That's the law of expectation. I'm looking to see how God has blessed me, right? And so, even though I'm still working on my business and I'm still building this empire and I'm still building links to these financial success areas in my life, and I'm still creating streams of income in different areas, I still have to continue to build that. And so I'm looking at my bank account to see if my strategies of what I've already decided the night before, what is it that I've already said that I would do each day in success in my businesses. And I have to be prepared for that in the financial process, right? Because bills are due. And then on top of the financial side of things, once I look at my bank accounts and I've gone into that strategy, it's time for me to go into self-development. So depending on each day of the week, so Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, I take 4 hour gap into self-development, right? So that lets me know that on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I'm trying not to have to be a fire put outer. That's an because I tend to be that person a lot of times. So I'm using strategy to be able to go forth in my own self-development, because at that point I'm reading books. At that point I'm journaling. And after prayer I'm journaling as well. Once I come back in, that's the first thing I do. But I'm journaling, and I am going back and looking over what I've done. I am trying to figure out what is my next strategy as well, according to what I'm doing with my leadership, with my coaches, with what I have in life when it comes to ministry and business, right? And so then on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, I'm just taking plain out appointments, right? That's when I build most of my appointments in the late morning, early afternoon. What is your strategy? Hey, Apostle Audra, how are you? Blessings to you. Blessings, blessings, blessings. And so figure out what it is that you should be doing as far as your strategy. When we talk about time management, it's so amazing that God would bring Apostle Audra Hurd on this phone, because let me tell you something. That's one of my sisters from another mister, and we have had to have conversations, and she'll call you to the carpet. She's an apostle day in, day out, eyes closed, eyes open. She's being apostolic and prophetic even when she's trying not to be. And you have to make sure, we talked about who is in your circle. And I said Apostle Jacqueline. I don't take it back either. I don't apologize. My sister Jackie also carries a strong burden. She has an apostolic grace, and she also has a prophetic grace in her life as well. And so she's one as well. We just start talking and sharing. We're twins in the spirit. We start talking and sharing, and we just start releasing stuff. And so that's just how it is. Allison, a good person I absolutely love. Allison always is going to listen and, glean where it needs to be. And Nani, Prophet Nani, who's all the way from Africa, that's on the other broadcast, he's going to show up. He's going to always have positive things to say. He's going to always have a positive contribution from the kingdom of heaven. Like, he is just always, I don't care what's happening, he's gonna find some grace. You can be rolled over thinking that this is your last moment and death is about to be next, and Nani is going to make sure that you know the word of God. He's going to remind you of what God is giving you. Apostle Audra, listen, they challenge me so much, and even in my coaches and everything, sometimes I feel like I can't breathe, and she's the one who's gonna say, you need to keep breathing. Let me go ahead and send you a box of straws, right? And then we talk about Jude, she does that as well. And so all these people, challenge me as well. You've got to do what you're called to do. And so this is a time of management. You've got to manage these things. You've got to understand. I love Apostle Audra. She will shut everything and everybody down and do what thus saith the Lord in that process of her time. And she'll go in the seasons. You have to understand when we talk about the power of your benefit in each season, you have to know what the benefits are. Remember, we talked about that before we even moved into this timing of what they like to call COVID-19. I call it our promise season, right? And so even before we moved into that, we were already talking about you've got the importance of you being able to understand that just because you don't accept the season doesn't mean that the season is not going to come. You cannot accept the winter, but baby, I promise you, when it's time for winter to show up, it's going to be cold outside. It's going to be colder than it was in summer. I live in Florida, guys. It doesn't get as cold. But if it's time for snow in a season of snow where you are, it's going to snow. It doesn't matter if you say, I'm not doing winter this year. Kick rocks. Winter's still gonna happen. Now you can stay in the house, but I bet you what you're gonna have to do is change from that air conditioning to a heating system, or you're gonna be cold either way. It doesn't matter. And so you've got to understand the changing of the season. So what I love about Apostle Audra is in that season, whatever her instructions are, whatever it is that she needs, thank you, Nani, whatever she needs, and whatever it needs to happen in order for her to pump out what God is saying in order to release, she's gonna do it. Like, you guys don't understand, before you can hit record on here, before you can start hitting let's go live, before you can start hitting record to get these courses together, before you can hit record, before we start teaching lessons, listen, there is so much that goes on behind the cameras, and until you get there, you don't understand. And so that's why it's so important that when you are learning in these processes, you've got to know what all you need to do, and then on top of that, what you need to be doing in the increments of your day, what you need to be doing in the increments of the seasons that you're in. How does this shift between daylight savings time and the summertime? When my days are longer, what else can I do? When the days are shorter, what else can I do? Because remember, the serotonin in your body, once the time shifts, you don't have as much time before your body says, I want to go to sleep. And you have to fight through that sleep in order to get things done. How do I effectively do what I need to do today in order to have success tomorrow? That's what you need to know. You have to know, who do I need to look like by Friday? If today is Monday or Sunday, right? Who do I need to look like on the 30th of the month or the 31st of the month, right? In order for you to get there. So you have to assess, who am I trying to be? By December the 31st, if you're going to be a millionaire, you need to understand what you've done between January, or between the date that you chose that example, all the way up to the 31st, right? You've got to know what you've done from January 1st to August the 28th. My birthday is in 2 days. I don't know how, I almost forgot what month it is. And then you have to understand, now what do I need to do from September to December to make this $1 million that I've already set out to do, to make that goal, right? What do I need to look like? And and what I look like means that I need to work right now 10 additional hours per week from the 5 that I used to work, right? That's not technically what I work, but I'm just saying I'm around the clock because I'm in a business building process. I'm not at a smooth sailing moment yet. And so while I'm building, but if I have to add an additional 10 hours in a week, and I've got to figure out how, I got to go back to, what does my morning routine look like, right? And then after the morning routine, number 2, what does my afternoons look like? When do I eat? When am I praying? When am I going forth? I'm in 2 different intercessory prayer groups, right? That we have Messenger up at all times. When people are in prayer, I am like one of the emergency intercessors. It's just what happened in my life, is what God called me to be. So when someone is coming into the prayer groups and they're needing prayer, I have to be, and this is nothing that they've told me that I had to do. God said that I had to be available. So by the time, and I said two, but there's three, and I have to be available. So when someone has come up or senior management is coming up saying, I mean, senior management, senior leaders are coming up saying, hey, listen, we need to pray for X, Y, and Z. This is what's going on. Or in the side, people coming into my inbox saying, pray for me because of X, Y, and Z. I've got to be ready on the move in the midst of doing everything that I do without missing a beat. But I've got to be able to stretch out before the throne of grace when that time is right. Why? Because that's the season that I'm in. God has even taken me through seasons where I haven't had to pray as much, that I've been praying from a list only in the morning. But in this dispensation of time, it's not just a list only. Sometimes he says, okay, now go down Facebook and pray. And I've got to do that in the midst of being able to comment on people about business. So managing your time, what is that looking like? Morning routine. You want to make sure that you've created a morning routine that's conducive to your life. The biggest thing that the enemy is using right now to get us is distractions. And I am number one. I think I have failed the distraction test for so long, guys. You are not alone if you're going through that. I have failed the distraction test of the enemy for so long. When you're trying to do work and business in your kingdom business, when you're trying to get things prepared for your customers, for your clients that are your partners, and then everyone seems to have a problem and different things are happening, and especially in this dispensation of time. But it didn't start with COVID-19. This has been going on with me for what, about a year and a half? It's been real. It's been real. But I've had to still continue to move forward in business. I've had, and thank God I'm stable now as far as in one place. I used to be driving down the street all day long, and all of y'all know that. Everybody in this broadcast knew how it was with me driving down the street. I have wrote books driving down the street, talking, texting. Oh, I cannot. Oh, then. Well, then. Okay, sorry about that. The child of mine that knows she should even be on here decides to call me. But even driving down the street, you still are responsible for the things that you are responsible for in life. And I was really, I just was going through so much trying to figure out how is it that I am going to drive down the street, pray for people. But can I tell y'all, during that time, I spent 20 hours in just intercessory prayer groups praying with people every day, minimum of 20 hours. Many of weeks it was a lot more than that. Plus driving down the street every day with a full-time job, right? Plus talking to friends who needed help, plus trying to build a business. So by the time you get off work from running all day long, and you're taking care of customers, you're having to make sure when you're driving down the street that you are paying attention to what's happening and staying out of the way of accidents. And thank God I'm accident free. And then on top of that, being able to still take care of people, and a lot of them were sick, but that was the purpose of me being there, to be able to get them safe rides. And while I prayed for them, and I've seen plenty of healing, God has showed me so many miracles in driving and the people in the car with me. Like, I could write a whole book about that. And so you still have to do it all in one day. And people kept saying, how can you do that? Number one, the grace of God. God says, as long as if you show up, Peaches, then I'll give you my grace. And once his grace kicks in, then that puts everything together, and you don't even know that you've been doing what you've been doing. Right time is management. You don't know that you've done so much until people start saying, my gosh, how did you do this? And so now, morning routine. What are you doing in the afternoons? What is your Monday through Friday looking like? If you're working 6 days a week, if you just love your work like I do, what is it looking like? Are you only dealing with your clients? In my instance, 3 hours a day, they have the opening of being able to get on my calendar, and then my one-on-one clients on Monday through Saturday, being able to get on and Saturday is by appointment only. I mean, all of them by appointment, but Saturday is by request only, because sometimes it's hard to get the people in. But if you're into my group, you're paying for my time, and you are my first priority. So I make sure that they're in. So what does it look like? I have spaces that are set up and allotted for me to be able to take your calls, 15-minute calls for you to get some clarity and find out if working with our team is something that you need in your life, right? That's where you go to the bit.ly/peaches15 in that place, because I had to stop and set that stuff up. Remember, we talked about systems and processes in order for you to see about getting help. Well, I was challenged to be able to do that, and I had to start doing that as well, because frankly, I was lost, to be honest, trying to get someone to help you and you don't even know what your day should look like. And Apostle Audra is an amazing person when it comes to that, because she let me see what it looked like. That's why you have to be cautious of your friends and your leaders and the people that you are in covenant with, because you have to see what it looks like, and then one thing begats another. And so many times you're so close to a person in a season that their spiritual DNA is all over you. And I know that even in the same with Apostle Audra, our spiritual DNA is like up in the air. We grabbing what's ours. And so when you start dealing with people, this is what happens. This is why time management is so important. And then you want to so right now I'm being challenged to decrease the amount of days that I am working, and then increase the amount of people that I'm serving. Did y'all hear that? Decreasing the amount of time that I'm working and increasing the amount of people that I can help, because I'm only one person, right? And so what does that look like? That looks like the groups that I am releasing in September. Remember, we talked about that what will be happening then is that I would be doing group coaching. Now, I'll be doing some one-on-one coaching still, because some people just really need one-on-one coaching. I was one of them. I was going through the groups and then I wasn't getting as much as I needed. And I had to start dealing with the one-on-one, and which ended up helping tremendously in my life. And so it's still helping. So we're talking about morning routine. We need to talk about times. What time do you start, right? On which day? And what time is your end day? Something that my apostolic father teaches me. He's one of my mentors as well. And me having my meeting with him, I think about 2 months ago or maybe last month, he had to say to me, and he had already taught it before, like I think about 4 years ago, he taught on this whole subject. But sometimes we have to reiterate on it. But the importance of having a time to be able to work, time for people in ministry, and a time for rest. Why? Because why is managing your time so important? Because the people that don't manage their time and they stretch themselves way out of the way, they tend to have problems. Anytime you see people in news, in ministry, or in business, and they are doing things out of the order, you see them way out of line. You see them on the news, and now they're in reports, the accurate reports, and the news don't usually do accurate reports. So let me backtrack there, because me and news, I don't like them. So that's one of those relationships that I don't really care for. I don't like the news, so I don't watch them because of the control of it. But the bottom line, and I'm an optimistic person, so the bottom line is, though, when you get there, when you see people that have done things way out of line, like cheating on their wives, and it's up in the media, like you've done something that you shouldn't have done with the money and ministry, it doesn't mean that all of them are bad. It just means that some of them have done something wrong, and you can guess 9 out of 10 times they are lacking rest during that time, and then they can shift and create a wrong move so quickly. Why? Because when you're rested, if you're driving down the street, you're up and you're prepared. But if in fact you're driving down the street and you're exhausted and tired, then your responses are a lot slower. You're missing things. You can't see things in your peripherals as well as you would have. You can't figure out, I call it prophetic driving. You can't prophesy on what they're going to do next on that road, so that you can stay out of the way, so that you are not into an accident. Yes, Nani, time is absolutely money. Seek the kingdom of God, and what you need will be added unto you. Absolutely right. And so I love you, Nani, because you're always right there with the word of God. If you can be we have up times and we have down times. And so on those down moments, you have to have the right people in your circle, because if you do not, the enemy will try to kill you through them. And I love, my friends, that God took me through a serious surgical extraction from most of the friends that I had, the majority of them. Now I still love them, but they're not as close to me. They're not in my inner circle anymore. Because why? Because sometimes where you're going, everyone can't go. I'm an eagle. The higher that I'm going, everybody can't breathe on that level. So guess what? The snakes all fell to the ground already. And guess what? Now all I'm dealing with is the crows that are trying to peck on the back of my neck. But I don't have to look at them. All I got to do is keep going higher and higher and higher. And then guess what? They'll lose consciousness and die and fall to their death to the ground. Do y'all hear what I'm saying? So time management kills the enemy and his plots to overwork you so that you can start making mistakes in your business, so that you start making mistakes which then someone can see and it doesn't look good, and then your business can go downhill just that quick from your character, right? Time is future. I don't understand what you mean by that, Nana. You have to bring it back to me. Give me more in depth, and then I may be able to go there with you. So we talked about morning routine. We talked about an afternoon routine. We talked about days of the weeks that you should be understanding where you need to do it. You need to be planning your time on how I'm going to increase who I am, because we all have to continue to learn. We're going to learn to the day that we close our eyes and transition out of here. So how will you learn? One of the mentors that I've had through books, and I think it's Jim Rohn, or it's either Rabbi Daniel Lapin. I think it's Rabbi Daniel Lapin, and he was talking about his father before he passed in his 80s. If you called him any night at 10 o'clock at night, you would never find his father. His father's biggest advice was, do not miss anything. So at 10 o'clock at night, his father would be at a recital, ending. He wasn't home yet. He might be supporting another friend in an endeavor that they're doing. He might be at the tracks when they were race cars or whatever it is that someone was doing. He may be at anything. He may be at someone's party. He may be at a bar mitzvah. He may be at anything. But what he wasn't is at home. He did not miss events. And so that was a huge plus for me when I was reading that, because that was my aha moment. Because I will forget, like I'll tell you I'm going to do something in a heartbeat and everybody knows it, and in 2 hours, if you need to come in, you can come in. The cameras are not that way. And I would say, okay, I'm going, we're going to all go together. And then by the end of the day, by the time I done ran, I'm exhausted. When I get home, I take a shower, that hot shower, and you lay across your bed for 2 seconds. My best friend will call me and start threatening me like, okay, I'm coming. And then when I come in there, if I got to dress you myself, we're going to dinner. Like she plans stuff 5 months ahead of time. You want to talk about a managing person? She will plan us going to lunch. It's August. She'll say January 25th, we're going to lunch. You think it's something special that you can only do in January? It's like, oh, where are we going? Oh, we're going to Red Lobster because I want some seafood. Why we gotta wait till January to go to Red Lobster for seafood? Today, oh my gracious, today is like, we got my birthday coming up in 2 days. Your birthday coming up in December. Yeah, we can do something then, but she basically makes you plan what you're going to do with her. Time is future. Oh, it directs you on where you'll be on tomorrow. Now that's good. That's some good stuff, Nani. That's right. He's saying that your time management is your future. If you're not managing your time, then your future looks like anything. But when you're managing your time, it directs your future, and you can plan on what you'll actually be for tomorrow. That's some good stuff there. And so you've got to plan it in order for you to be successful and be at your best. And then that's another thing. Give, wherever you are, give it your absolute best. Like, give them unequivocally your best. Even if you're still at a job and you don't want to be there anymore, but you want to move on, you've decided that entrepreneurship is for you, or business, your own small business is for you, whatever your decision is, you need to, if your decision is to still go to work today, you need to go to work and be your best. That's Jim Rohn. But you still need to work on your fortune part-time as you work on someone else's vision full time until later you can start shifting it around. And as you continue to work on your own, then you can work on your own fortune full time and work on someone else's part time. But what does that look like? It looks like time management. And if you have this thing written down, you can be prepared on what you're going to do each day. Tomorrow, Saturday morning, I've already got it together. I know what I'm going to do. I know that 8:30 in the morning, I need to do all of my morning routine needs to be completed, because at 8:30, I come on for family prayer on Saturday mornings. After family prayer, I know that I have a senior leadership team meeting at 10 o'clock, right? I know that at noon, I'm going to be on Hour of Power with one of the ministries in prayer and worship, right? I know that after that, that my day on a Saturday all the way up to 2 o'clock is absolutely compact. And there's nothing that can get in there between that. So if I'm going to see about doing anything else, it has to be after 3. You can say 2, but by the time you get here, if I'm still soaking in God, if God is still working on me, because Saturday is just the day that God just shows out in my life. And if I'm still laid up soaking, you'll be mad. You'll be sitting outside or downstairs, and I ain't there yet. I can't move till the Holy Spirit allows me to move. And so that's how that is. You need to know that on Sunday morning, you know what you're doing. On Saturday night, you need to know what you're doing at 7 o'clock on Saturday nights, right? You can say it's free time. You can write it off on your calendar as free time. But if it's not free time, for me, it's work time. I'm working from Saturday at nights from 7 to 10, unless I've scheduled something else in there on building my business. I'm working on systems. I'm working on implementing processes. I'm working on coursework, pulling out my next big course, which I have a huge course that's going to be coming up shortly. And it's a lot of work in the back end for me. So that is my Saturday nights, and Wednesday nights are late Wednesday nights are my systems time. I have to get the systems information in. I've got to be able to get these things in order. So that's what I wanted to leave you guys with. Know what you're going to do. And then whatever you're going to do, you put it on your calendar. It's not going to be simple when you do it the first day, but you'll start getting better and better at it. The next thing you would make sure that you want to do is you want to, in the evening, figure out, okay, what did I actually do? Today, assess your day. What did I do today? Did I do family prayer if it's a Saturday, did I do family prayer at that morning? Time is challenged. And yes, it is. And it's changed as well. But did I do family prayer that morning? Did I turn around and get on my senior leadership call on time? Did I get into prayer on time and intercessory prayer on time? Like, did I get my full morning routine together? Did I get up on time? What is it that I've done? And check that stuff off. Because if you didn't do it today, but it needs to be done tomorrow, if it's on your list of things that you need to do for this week, this month, and this year, right? And we talked about the time management of knowing, what do I need to do? What does that look like? How much time do I need to be reading, being prepared for the next class that I have up? How much time do I need to read to be able to give the next ministry that I'm sharing with my absolute best and from the throne of grace? How much Bible study time am I doing, and what days of the week? So you get the drift. That's mostly what I wanted to talk about. Managing your time is managing your success. Managing your time is managing your success. And I'm going to say it one more time. Managing your time is managing your success. You want success, you manage your time. See, that's how you take things from the dream state. It's really good to have a dream from the vision state and bring it to the physical state. So it is in heaven, it is on earth. So it is in the spirit realm, it is in the physical realm. And that's why we're always asking God, let your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Not in heaven as it is on earth as it is in heaven. Submit it to him and allowing him to lead you every day. Part of my prayer when I start out every morning is, God, give me the strength, courage, and wisdom to go forth and do what you've called me to do. Do not let me veer left or veer right off the path of what you've called me to be on. Don't let me miss it. I don't want to be to the right and you're saying go straight. I don't want to be to the left and God go before me and make my crooked path straight. And he does it every time. I'm asking him to put me in places that I don't even know how I got in favor for people that need what I have for them. And in order for me to get what I need from them, right? Exchange of business. So I love the Jabez prayer. Y'all hear me say it all the time, and I absolutely love that prayer, which is oh God, bless me indeed. Bless me. Jabez was bold enough to say, bless me indeed. People think you can't pray for yourself and your business, but you have to pray for everyone else and their business. You can absolutely do that. Bless me indeed, and enlarge my territory, that I may sin not, that others may not sin against me, right? And I know that's my version of the Jabez prayer, but that's where I am. I love Psalm 91. You know, thank you for allowing me to be able to dwell in the secret place of you, Daddy. I appreciate it. Thank you for taking me places I didn't know. Thank you. Nani said happy birthday to me in advance. I appreciate it. Absolutely right. God richly blesses you. He does. He richly blesses. But he'll bless each and every one of you. When you hear me say my dad is not just mine, it's yours too. But you just got to claim it, right? You got to claim the success of it. So that's, guys, that's what I had tonight. Managing your time is managing your success. Does anyone have any questions or any comments that they would like to add in um, on anything that we've had? Listen, there are some, while I'm waiting on the questions, with the delay, there are some amazing things that are happening that are coming up for the month of September. I'm going to blow you guys away with some of the things that we're offering. You are not going to believe it. Let me ask you guys in the personal page, um, my video, does it look, well, I just realized that I didn't put any lighting on, so that would be problem number one there. But I need to know the difference in that video. Jackie and Allison, you guys are usually on with me. Can you tell me the quality of what you're seeing in this camera versus what I usually do, because I shifted it up. I'm on the computer today. I got it to look a lot better, but I'm interested in knowing what the quality of it looks like. What do you think? Because I'll be able to see it on this side and streaming over in these areas. They usually can get that. My phone, which is, I feel like, is the best quality in video, but just let me know what you think, guys, because I'm interested in knowing. So I don't see any questions. We'll be back here in the morning, as I stated, at 8:30 a.m. for family prayer. Let me tell you what's funny. It's amazing when a person designates a prayer time to you and then you don't show up. And that's just amazing to me. I don't know how you do it. But guys, show up. Family prayer is tomorrow morning at 8:30 in the morning. And by all means, if you are interested in leading family prayer on 8:30 every morning, or if you are interested in praying with me, let me know, especially with this new platform that I have. I will be able to pull you on, but let me know, because I would love to have someone else come in as well. But we also have to have prayer for our family, and you want to represent your family and your friends and your loved ones, as well as my family, friends, and loved ones. My sight is here in perfect. Amen. Amen. Bless you. Bless you. Good. I'm glad to hear that. So no one responded to me on the other side. So I guess I'll just be looking at the video and make the decision myself. You guys have an absolutely amazing night. I love you all with the love of God. Take care. Be blessed. And I'll see you here also tomorrow night as well. So we'll be doing 8:30 a.m. for prayer, and 8:30 p.m. we'll be back here for business. Have an absolutely amazing night. I love you. Good night.